Hello, it's David here, and in this short video we're going to look at social media and privacy. So the aim of today's short video is a little bit about what privacy means, especially to Twitter and Facebook, how you can change a few settings, how you can monitor your account, and a little bit about looking after your own online reputation. There are some golden rules, and please don't forget these. And the first one is, don't publish what you don't want others to know. In other words, don't put things on the internet that you wouldn't want your mother to see. And if you're a young person with a massive career ahead of them and you're very energetic and very enthusiastic about the future, don't put things on the internet now that future employers will see, because at the moment that's what employers do. And you can say that you've got a degree and you're experienced up the yin-yang, but the thing is, if they go onto the internet and find some pictures or some posts that you put on 6 years ago, that could affect your future. So be very aware about what you publish. And secondly, and maybe more importantly, there's no such thing as true privacy on the web. Good. When you share information with other people, they also can choose to make that public. You have no opportunity to control what they do with your content unless you sort that control issue out when you set up the platforms or the tools that you're using in the social space. In other words, on Twitter and Facebook, you have the ability to get in there, ask lots of questions, tick lots of boxes, which means that people cannot take your information further. So if you're a parent and you're posting nice photographs that you just want your family to see, please ensure that your children don't take those photographs and share them further on their own networks. So what does the social web know about you? Well, first of all, it knows about your name, because you'll always have a public name on any social platform. But this helps your friends and family to find you. Now, if you're uncomfortable sharing your real name, you can either change that to a pseudonym, or you can deactivate or delete your account. But your public name will always be available for other people to find. Also, profile pictures. These help your friends and family recognize you. And if you're uncomfortable making your profile picture public, you can always delete it by hovering over your photograph and clicking change picture or whatever. But it is cool to have if you're going to use social sharing, to have your own picture up, because it identifies with you as a human being and people will want to interact with you. Especially when you're in business, you want people to know who you are. The business comes second, and you'll find a bit more about social media marketing as we get through the course. Now on to networks. This helps to see who you'll be sharing information with. So before you choose friends and networks, for example, on Facebook as a custom audience, if you're uncomfortable making your network public, you can just simply leave the network. So if you're going to join other people's networks, be aware that your information can be used and forwarded by them. On Facebook, you also have a username and user ID, as you well know. And these allow you to give out a custom link to your profile or page, receive emails at your email address, so people can contact you, which is pretty cool, I think. As you can see there, and when we talked about setting up the Facebook account, you can see what we're talking about there. Now let's look at status and picture settings. As a general rule, don't assume that if you don't see any icon to share a picture, that will not be shared. Some platforms do not give you that ability, so you must always assume the worst. So as I say, when you put something up on the internet, it's going to be shared. Whether it is or not, that doesn't matter, but if you can always assume that, it'll be cool. So your default setting in your mind is always public. If it isn't, that's better for you. What else do we share? We share our statuses, we share our photographs, we share our comments, we share our likes, and we share our friends. And in the security settings for Twitter and Facebook, you can say, I don't want this shared, I don't want that shared. Who can access your information? Well, here, as we can see on Facebook, you're able to determine who can. And down here at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that this is all being shared with just friends. It can also be shared, as you know, with friends of friends, etc. And remember that if you're using any apps such as Twitter to link into your Facebook, Instagram to link into your Facebook, Pinterest or whatever, you can remove certain permissions without necessarily removing that app. What does your profile look like to others? Well, here's a good example of a profile that I found on the internet. It's showing your friends, it's showing your latest posts, and in the top scroll across bar, it's showing the photographs that you've taken and other apps that you're using and other networks that you're using. So it's always worth looking at your timeline now and again, maybe once a week, just to review what is there, so that if you have got any embarrassing, awkward and other moments you want to forget, you can delete them. And here's David's top tip for social media. If you do consume alcohol or any other mind-altering substance, never tweet when under the effect. As I say, you can take things off your timeline, but if it's been Googled, if it's been spidered, if it's on the internet, if it's a tweet, although you can delete the tweet really is still present. So be very careful about how you tweet and when you tweet. And talking about Twitter, this is what Twitter actually says, and they're being very upfront about it. Our services are primarily designed to help you share information with the world. Most of the information you provide to us is information you are asking us to make public. Your public information is broadly and instantly disseminated. As we go through the course, you'll find out about hacking and why hackers don't necessarily chase you, because your information is readily available because you've given your bank account, for example, your bank's permission to sell that on. So what does this include as far as Twitter is concerned? Well, they have the right to disseminate the messages you tweet, any metadata provided with tweets. And by metadata, we mean things like links to other sites, images that you put up, maybe links to videos as well. It also includes the lists you create. As we go through the course, we'll see that in Twitter, you just don't have a cascading timeline, you also use lists as well. Also public, the people you follow, the tweets that you've marked as favourites, or the retweets that you've made, or any other bits of information. And please don't forget, all tweets are searchable by the main search engines. So once again, don't publish anything that you wouldn't want your mother to see, and or significant other. So here, you've put a lot of information. Here is a Twitter profile for us at the interactive courses. You can find out our website, our names, where we are. And with Twitter, you are able to protect your tweets. But if you're in business, you wouldn't want to be doing that because you want people to follow you. But remember, tweets are searchable by most of the search engines. A good reputation is more valuable than money. So if you are a small business and you're thinking about improving your social media presence, maybe as a result of this book, this is the first time you've used social media, just be aware that before you put anything up, think about your reputation. And as somebody else once said, a reputation for 1,000 years could depend upon the conduct of a single moment. And there are many examples of one tweet really hurting a business and or an individual. So your online reputation, get online. You have to be online these days. That's the way the world is going. Take ownership of your social media sites. Think before you post. Please do not tweet anything when you know that you're not in control of yourself. You may well live to regret that. Secure your accounts, both in Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and whatever. They all give you the opportunity to view your security settings. A lot of people just say, oh well, doesn't matter. It does matter. And keep things private that you want to remain private. And finally, if it does all go wrong and you start to get bad tweets about your product or bad tweets about yourself, just a few, well, 3 actually, steps to fix your reputation. First of all, deal with it as soon as possible. Social media is immediate. Totally and utterly immediate. So when you see something posted about your company, your small business, your bed and breakfast that is negative, don't think that by burying your head in the sand that it's going to go away. Deal with the issue as soon as possible. Reply to that tweet or that status update as soon as possible. And it's my 100% tip. Do not get confrontational, because other people across the world are watching you and how you're communicating. Ask others to remove unwanted photographs and information. So if stuff is out and it's going against you, ask people that you know and you trust, can they just take that off the internet? And post often about yourself so people know that you're dealing with a situation. In other words, overwhelm the negative. A little over 8 minutes today, talking about some basic safety and privacy issues. If you want to find out more, then stick along with us in the course and you'll get more and more tips. As I said, it's like a big jigsaw puzzle, and these are just some of the jigsaw pieces that are going to make that puzzle into the picture of really successful use of social media.